And every week on the AI Shift, we look at one important change AI is creating in business. Not another tool, not another prompt, but what AI is changing about the way businesses actually work. Hi everyone, my name is Craig, and it's very good to be with you today for another edition of the AI Shift. And today we're going to look at when everyone has AI, what actually creates advantage. So you're going to have to think about this a little bit more seriously and in depth than you probably have been. I think a lot of businesses are investing in AI because they expect it to create an advantage. They expect to get a jump on their competitors, their opposition. They'll have faster research, they'll have better analysis, more productive people, faster customer responses, better sales copy, better ads, whatever. But your competitors can access AI too. They can subscribe to similar models. They can use AI for similar work. So increasingly, if everyone has access to AI, what actually is going to create the advantage for you and your business? Over the years, capability was hard to acquire. When you think about how businesses actually built and traditionally built capability, if you wanted better analysis, you needed people with analytical skills. If you wanted deeper customer research, someone had to spend time doing it. If you wanted specialist expertise, you had to hire it, develop it, or bring it in from the outside. And experience took years to accumulate. That meant capability wasn't evenly distributed. Excuse me. A business with more expertise, better research, stronger analytical capability, or more experienced people could do things another business just simply couldn't. And predominantly it was larger businesses that were doing it, not the smaller businesses. And that could create an advantage. It could have been the leverage. It wasn't the only source of competitive advantage, of course, but access to capability mattered because capability was expensive and difficult to acquire. AI changes some of those economics. So now capability is becoming more and more accessible. Today, a much smaller business can access capabilities that would previously have required considerably more resources. A salesperson can have research supported before an important meeting. They can do it on their phone now. All the AI models are on apps on your phone. A manager can analyze large amounts of information that they previously wouldn't even thought about looking at. Marketing can create and test small variations. Customer service can interpret customer history before responding. So people throughout the business can have analytical and knowledge support available whenever, however they need it. And that's a huge opportunity. But again, on the flip side, your customers can access those capabilities too. So AI capability can be enormously valuable without necessarily being unique. And as something becomes widely accessible, simply having access to it becomes less of a differentiator, which raises the question, what makes your use of that intelligence better than somebody else's? Now, we've discussed this numerous times over all our presentations about two different businesses. Same AI, different business. So two businesses may compete in the same marketplace. They both have access to the same AI, and they both ask, which sales opportunities should we pursue? The first business gives AI some basic CRM information, some company information, some market information, industry size, website, maybe perhaps some general market information that they have gathered. And AI can do quite a lot with that. But the second business gives AI something more. because it has years of won and lost opportunities. It has recorded when it's won campaigns or when it's won business and when it's lost business. It knows the objections that tend to matter because it's recorded them. It knows which types of customers become highly profitable. It knows which ones look attractive but cause problems later. They've got customer conversations. They've got service issues. They've got reasons opportunities were won and lost. So both companies have the same underlying AI. They could be both using the same prompts that they've gathered from all the various experts that send out different 50 prompts and that you need to use. But now we're giving that intelligence different context and potentially getting very different decisions. And that's an important distinction. AI capability may become common, but your business context doesn't have to be. Same AI, different context. Same businesses using the same AI, different outcomes. So you know your business has been learning for years. However long you've been in business, you've been learning. And here's where established businesses have something very interesting. You've got this experience, you've got this learning over years. Your salespeople know that when a prospect asks certain questions early in the conversation, that they're usually very serious options. Someone in operations knows that a particular customer request often creates trouble later. Your finance manager knows which commercial exceptions are generally safe. And you as the owner, the manager, the director, the chief executive, there are probably numerous opportunities you can look at and think, technically we could take that work, but I don't think we should. So where did that judgment come from? Experience? Hundreds of thousands of previous situations? From your wins, from your losses, from your problems, from your exceptions, from your customer conversations, from your internal conversations, from your meetings, from your get-togethers, from your conferences. You have decisions that worked and you have decisions that didn't. From your outcomes, from your results. The business has accumulated knowledge from doing the work. The problem is much of that knowledge may still exist inside individual people's heads or individual people's notes or individual people's documents. Or it may just sit in some documentation sitting behind everyone's desk as the standard operation procedures. So it's sitting with people, inside people's heads, inside their notebooks, rather than inside the business. So here's a simple example. Say you're the sales manager and you get asked, as you always do by your salespeople, oh, I need an extra discount to get this business. I need this, I need this. So you as the manager, you look at the request, you look at the customer, you look at the margins, you look at the opportunity, but you also, because you're the manager, you have access to what's happening with other customers, other territories. You know what supply is like, where product is, where it isn't, when it's coming in. So you look at all of those that influences, all of those things that can impact the business, but you approve the discount. A few days later, someone may ask for 6%. You approve it. 8%, you approve it. Another 7% from someone else, you approve it. And this happens again and again and again. Because you know within your head you have an internal justification, a system, a criteria that you work through in regards to all of these discounts. Now, at first, these may seem to be individual decisions, one-offs in relation to a certain customer, to a certain product, to whatever. But after you've been making that same decision 5 times here, 20 times by the end of the month, something has changed. The business now has evidence about how that decision is normally made. So the question becomes, Is this still judgment, or have we learned enough to create a rule? Perhaps you can allow your salespeople to approve discounts up to a certain level when particular conditions are met. Anything outside those boundaries still comes to you. We just haven't removed judgment. We've captured what repeated judgment has taught us. And that's an important distinction. Because experience becomes much more valuable to the organisation when what it teaches us can improve the next decision, not just the person who made the last decision. It's about applying that improvement and that understanding, that experience across the whole business. Now, I know this can happen with or without AI. You can set up new rules and procedures. But when you utilise AI for it, it becomes extremely powerful within your business. The question for you, though, when you do this is that who then becomes accountable? If you set up AI to approve these discounts so they don't come to your desk, but you just get a summary, you still fundamentally are accountable because you've set up the system. So whoever sets up the system for it, in our opinion, still remains accountable for it. You can't blame AI. You can't blame this or blame that. You are now designing the system that runs the business. So work should leave something behind. It happens every day in your business. And this is what you should think about in the way that you can change how your business operates. We immediately think about work as being just the immediate outcome. What just happened in that conversation? What happened in that last hour? A sales conversation produces an opportunity. A proposal hopefully produces a sale. A customer complaint produces a resolution. A pricing decision allows the deal to move. But every one of these decisions that you make or someone in your organisation makes produces one key thing: learning. Customer objections can improve future messaging. You start to feed into your AI what people are objecting about that will improve your messaging. Lost opportunities can improve qualification. We lost this why because of X, Y, or Z, because the customer was this, the customer was that, the customer was this. It may then determine in the future you don't deal with such customers, or you change some things around so you win such customers. So you're improving your qualification. Pricing exceptions can improve commercial boundaries. If you know you can increase your discount from 5 to 7% based upon these factors, it can automatically flow through and be a quicker response to customers instead of them having to wait an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 or 5 hours, depending upon your availability or your team's availability. So work shouldn't only just produce an outcome. It should leave the business knowing something it didn't know before. And AI makes it increasingly practical to capture and apply those patterns. It's those patterns across far more work than we could previously examine manually. And you couldn't do it manually because of one, time constraints, resource constraints, financial constraints, energy constraints, timing constraints. That now changes with AI. And that's where this starts becoming very, very powerful for you and your business. So where the advantage moves, your competitor can buy similar AI. So where does your advantage come from? Part of the answer to that may be what you combine with AI, your customer context, your experience, your decision history, your knowledge of what works, your knowledge of what doesn't work, and your ability to learn from new customers and new outcomes faster. It's like if someone wins a new client in a new industry, in a new market, how quickly can that be fed through into your business? Someone in another state or another office, another branch wins a new competitor because of a new client because of this, and this. How much faster could that be fed through your business with the use of AI? So your ability to learn from new outcomes faster is an important shift. And that's why we think it's a very important shift. Your competitor can buy similar AI, but they can't buy what your business has learned. But there is a catch. Because if what you have learned is just sitting inside your head, your staff's head, your manager's head, your director's head, or a handful of experienced people, then the business isn't fully benefiting from that experience, from that knowledge, from that learning. The opportunity is to turn experience into organisational capability. So, our question for you this week, for you to think about, for you to ponder, is what does your business know that a competitor can't simply buy? And that they simply can't get by subscribing to the same AI tool that you do. Just think about the decisions you've made recently or repeatedly, the clients or customers you've spoken to, the clients you've won, the clients you've lost, the patterns your experienced people recognise, the skills and the knowledge of your best salespeople, the customer complaints, the mistakes you've made, the exceptions you've dealt with over the last week, over the last month, the things your team knows because they've seen them 50 times before, or because they're out there in the marketplace, seeing what's happening with competitors, with your customers, with clients you'd love to win. So ask, where does this knowledge live? And is it captured in the way the business works? Does it improve the next decision someone has to make? Can other people use it? Or does it just sit there in someone's head, someone's notebook, someone's journal once the job is finished? A client file. Because AI is very powerful. But becoming the ability to access it is extremely easy and simple for everyone. But what won't be common is everything your business has learned from years of actually doing the work. The opportunities to make that learning usable. AI gives us access to more intelligence, and what your business learns determines what you can do with it. And that's the AI shift. That's where we see the dramatic change that AI will make for you and your business. So please think about that question that we've just covered. What does your business know that a competitor can't simply buy? And then where is that knowledge, that learning, that experience sitting within your business? That's us for this week. We've gone a little bit over time, but I think it's important for you to think about what you now do with AI, given that it's available to everyone. Please leave us a comment, some feedback, some questions, some notes below so that we can learn, feed that into our system to improve how we present, what we present, and when we present it. I hope you spend some time this week just thinking about what your business knows and how AI can use that to the benefit of everyone in your business and ultimately your business's goals, outcomes, and results. But I thank you again for your attendance today. I look forward to catching up with you next week when we present another edition of the AI Shift. Until then, bye for now.